Welcome to part 2. Seal up the book, Daniel, until it be the time. And we're going to get on back into this. And as I was saying, coming out of part 1, neglect not the gifts that are in you. See, we was talking about how Daniel was given the gifts of understanding of all visions and dreams. Now at the end, verse 18, now at the end of the days that the king had said he should bring them in. Then the prince of the Eunuchs brought them in before Nebuchadnezzar, which we'll say Nebuchadnezzar, or Nebi, however you choose to call it, it's okay. And the king communed, which spoke with them, and among them all found none like Daniel, Hananiah, Mishael, and Azariah. Therefore stood they before the king in all matters of wisdom and understanding, that the king inquire of them. He found them 10 times better than all the magicians and astrologers, which means conjurers, in case you're wondering. See, yes, we are supposed to look at the stars for signs and wonders. We're not supposed to be astrologers. It's two different things. But he found them better than all the magicians and all the astrologers that were in all his realm. And Daniel continued even to the first year of the king Cyrus. Now, that's just basically there is telling us how Daniel got going. And now we're going to break in, and we're going to break into Daniel's years with these kings. Right? The book of Revelations does the same thing. Jumps back and forward from like beginning to end to middle and stuff of different segments of time. And they parallel each other. Daniel and Revelations. It's just like the convergence now, how all these things that have already taken place are converging now as one, and they're taking place all over again. Because these are signs unto those that are watching for the Lord. Now, getting into chapter 2 of Daniel. And in the second year of the reign of Nebuchadnezzar, Nebi dreamed dreams wherewith his spirit was troubled, and he slept. His sleep broke from him. That means it was gone. Then the king commanded to call the magicians and the astrologers and the sorcerers and the Chaldeans for to show the king his dream. So they came and stood before the king. This is the astrologers as conjurers. And the king said to them, I have dreamed a dream, and my spirit was troubled to know the dream. Then spoke the Chaldeans to the king, and Syriac, I'm not sure how to pronounce that. It's Aramaic. That means Aramaic. He spoke to them in the Aramaic. O king, live forever. Tell your servants the dream, and we will show the interpretation. The king answered and said to the Chaldeans, the thing is gone from me. If you will not make known to me the dream with the interpretation thereof, you shall be cut into pieces, and your house shall be made a dung hill. But if you show the dream, which means declare it, and the interpretation thereof, you shall receive of me gifts and rewards and great honor. Therefore, show me the dream and the interpretation thereof. Now see, here he is, he's asking them to tell him his dream. He's asking them, tell me my dream. Tell me my dream, and then tell me what it means. He is not telling them the dream. He wants them to tell him. It's a proving of if they've got the goods or not, right? They answered again and said, let the king tell his servants the dream, and we will show the interpretation of it. The king answered and said, I know of certain that you would gain the time, because you see the thing is gone from me. The dream. But if you will not make known to me the dream, there is but one decree for you. For you have prepared lying and corrupt words to speak before me, till the time be changed. Therefore tell me the dream, and I shall know that you can show me the interpretation thereof. The Chaldeans answered before the king and said, there is no man upon the earth that can show the king's matters. Therefore, there is no king, lord, nor rule that asks such things at any magician or astrologer or Chaldean. And it is a rare thing that the king requires, which means difficult thing, that the Lord requires, and there is no other that can show it before the king except the gods, whose dwelling is not with flesh. Could you imagine being asked to tell someone their dream? And that if you don't do it, you're going to be put to death? That would take a lot of faith in God, wouldn't it? For this cause the king was angry and very furious, and commanded to destroy all the wise men of Babylon. And the decree went forth that the wise men should be slain. And they sought Daniel and his fellows to be slain. Then Daniel answered with counsel and wisdom to Arioch, the captain of the king's guard, which was gone forth to slay the wise men of Babylon. He answered and said, Arioch, the king's captain, why is this decree hastily from the king? Then Arioch made the thing known to Daniel. Then Daniel went in and desired of the king that he would give him time, that he would show the king the interpretation. Then Daniel went to his house and made the thing known to Hananiah, Mishael, and Azariah, his companions, which are Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, to eliminate some confusion there, that they would desire mercies of the God of heaven concerning this secret, that Daniel and his fellows should not perish with the rest of the wise men of Babylon. Then was the secret revealed to Daniel in the night vision. Then Daniel blessed the God of heaven. The God of heaven. See, he had many titles that he went by. Daniel answered and said, Blessed be the name of God forever and ever, for wisdom and might are his. And he changes the times and the seasons. He changes the times and the seasons. God does, not us, God. He removes kings and sets up kings. Kings. That is not done by vote. He gives wisdom to the wise and knowledge to them that know understanding. He reveals the deep and secret things. He knows what is in the darkness, and the light dwelleth within him. I thank you and praise you, O God of my fathers, who has given me wisdom and might, and has made known to me now that what was desired of you, for you have now made known to us the king's matter. Therefore Daniel went in to Arioch, whom the king had ordained to destroy the wise men of Babylon. He went and said thus to him, Destroy not the wise men of Babylon. Bring me in before the king, and I will show to the king the interpretation. Then Arioch brought in Daniel before the king in haste, and said thus to him, I have found a man of the king's captive of Judah, that will make known to the king the interpretation. The king answered and said to Daniel, whose name was Belteshazzar, Are you able to make known to me the dream which I have seen, and the interpretation thereof? Daniel answered in the presence of the king and said, The secret which. I'll see you in the next part, and we will finish this.